Hello, listeners of the harvest season. Before we get to the episode, we want to take a moment to address the United States Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade on June 24th, which stripped away the right to have a safe and legal abortion.
Restricting access to comprehensive reproductive care, including abortion, threatens the health and independence of all people, which we have already seen with abortion bans and restrictions in countries like Poland and Malta.
This decision has dire consequences and could have harsh repercussions for other landmark decisions within the United States. We encourage our audience, American and otherwise, to learn more about what you can do to help at podvoices.help.
We encourage you to speak up, take care, and spread the word.
Farmers, and welcome to another episode of The Harvest Season. My name is Cody.
And my name is Bev.
And we're here today to talk about farming games.
Woo!
Woo! Hi, Bev. How are you?
I am doing all right. I mean, life is hard, but I am.
I'm all right.
Well, like, I try to answer this. I try to be more mindful of my answer and just be like, everything's fine, and it's not.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be, like, still somewhat, like, not as, like, 100% negative as I want to be.
Right.
But also be a little bit more honest. Like, I am doing okay. I am doing as best as I perfectly can right now.
We are living, but not thriving.
Yes. How are you?
Same. I've just been really busy with my field research, and last week I helped a friend. So I have a friend that owns a coffee trailer, it is called the Bee's Knees Coffee. Which Amazing. Is why I go. Like, I'm oblagated to go since I'm a big coffee drinker and there's bees in the name. And then the joke between me and the owner, because we're like close friends now. The joke is that we met because of the bees, but then we bonded over the knees because earlier this year I tore my ACL and I had to have knee surgery. And when that happened, she told me she also had the same surgery on the same knee like 15 years before. And so she like offered to bring me stuff. She had someone bring me soup like when I was still pretty bedridden and like couldn't go anywhere. And, you know, so eventually we've joked that we're going to get a tattoo of a bee sipping coffee and we're going to get it on our knees. So
I love that so much.
Really
and I love
excited.
that there's like a support system with ACL, like post like ACL, like, because like I have also gotten ACL surgery.
Yeah, it is.
It is not fun.
It is not fun. It is no joke. I mean, I hadn't realized how much of your energy goes to rebuilding your body until I had something that extremely rebuilt my body. Because I was like, man, I don't have energy to do anything. Like, I couldn't, for the first couple of days, I couldn't read. I couldn't, like, we tried to watch TV and Jeff just said my eyes would close and my head would loll back, like, all the time. And that might have been the medicine as well, but whatever. Anyway, so my friend, who owns the Bee's Knees, she did an event last week. It was the arts festival here in town. Ooh. And so she had her trailer there for a couple days, and she knows that I used to work in a coffee shop, so she asked me if I would be interested in like making money and helping her out. And I was like, of course I'll help you out, like if you need it. And she definitely needed it. And so I got to work like 10 or 12 hours in a coffee cart, and that was awesome.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was super lovely, and but it was a lot.
I bet. I like, especially for an event. Like I can imagine like how much like work went into that.
Yeah. I helped out before too. Like she has like a sticker of her company, like our company logo, and we put the sticker on every cup. So she gave me 2 boxes of cups, like 1,000, like 2,000 cups.
Oh my
And I
goodness.
would sit
Wow.
and watch TV and just like sticker cups. And I'm pretty sure we went through all of those,
Yeah.
all those
It
cups.
sounds very like cathartic though.
It
Like very
was.
like
It really was.
relaxing.
It gave me the same feeling of like knitting or some type
Yeah.
of like crafting where you're just doing something with your hands and you see your progress being made. You start out with like a pile of unstickered cups and you end up with stickered cups. So anyway,
Well, I love that. And like owning a coffee shop or some sort of cart, I guess, or mobile coffee thing is like my retirement dream. And I am extremely jealous
well,
that
if you ever
you've got
want
to work on
to
this.
meet Bromlin,
Yes.
she is literally the definition of girl boss. So,
Yes.
because she is
I will
amazing.
I will have to schedule a visit. It's been
Yeah.
a very long time, so I'm due.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that's how I've been doing. So today on this episode, we are here to talk about the video game Garden Paws, which is a cute little simulator. It does so many things. I was going to say, how do
Oh
I
my
describe
goodness.
this as like one thing? I can't. So
No.
I won't. We'll talk about that later. But first, Bev, what have you been playing?
I have mostly been playing Garden Paws the last week or two, just because haven't really had a lot of time for playing just because of work stuff. But before, I guess like before that, I was playing like Monster Hunter like Rise, the Sunbreak DLC that just came out at the end of or the beginning of July. Some Horizon Zero Dawn, and then I went through like a recent phase of like since work has been so stressful, I was like, treat yourself, and then I bought a lot of games. So I started a lot of different ones, but I've been like ADHD with those games because it's like I want to play them, but I don't have time to play them.
Yep. I feel that.
So what have you been playing?
I have also been playing Garden Paws. That's kind of like the game that I've been playing on my Switch lately. And I've definitely been enjoying that. I still on my phone, I play Pokemon Go and Pikmin Bloom.
Nice.
Really enjoying those. Do you play Pikmin Bloom at all? I can't remember.
So I started playing it, but I've had a really bad tendency recently to like I haven't been able to keep a habit of anything. So like Pokemon Go dropped in 2020 and I haven't been able to pick it back up. I tried Pikmin Bloom. I love the look of it, but I'm also not moving around as much, so which is not great.
I like it because I am trying to move around more. Like, I mean, this doesn't help Pikmin Bloom, but I just recently got a bike trainer, which is something that you can use to make your bike a stationary bike.
Nice.
Since I am still not cleared for biking in the real world.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jeff, my partner, bought me a stationary trainer, and it's really cool because you can connect it to this app that basically like simulates a bike ride in either a real world or like a fake world, and so it will change the resistance for you. So randomly it'll get like really hard. Like I was biking I only biked for 20 minutes earlier and I was sweating so bad, and I ended up having to stop because I was getting lightheaded, and I need a fan. Like I need a fan on me while I'm doing these bike rides. Anyways, so that's like it's called Zwift is the app I was using. It's basically also kind of a game. Like it gamifies bike riding.
Okay, I love that because
really
I've been
cool.
meaning to get like a stationary bike for my house.
Yeah.
Because I need to exercise more.
Well, so this trainer was just on sale for I want to say like $700 US. And then you can just connect your own bike to it. So
Okay.
because like stationary bikes are fairly expensive, and so I like the capability of
Being able to attach it to your own bike already. Yeah.
so that I
My
can then
bike?
train my bum, because bikes destroy your butt.
Yes, and they're
not
very
comfy.
good for like PT, like post surgery.
Correct.
So understandable.
Correct.
Okay.
But yeah, the problem with that is that it doesn't really factor into Pikmin Bloom. But I have been playing a decent amount of Pikmin Bloom, and I like a lot of the new features that they have. So, for example, like behind each Pikmin, it says what kind of Pikmin they are. So, if they're like
Ooh.
a roadside Pikmin or a forest Pikmin, and they have it on all of the planters, seedlings. I don't know what you call them anymore. Seedlings, I think. Like the ones that basically the eggs.
Yeah.
They have them on those as well. So if you go and have your Pikmin collect those and then they bring it back and then it's just a roadside one, you can just trash it because you're like, I don't want another sticker. Like, who the heck cares, right? So it kind of makes it easier to finish your collection.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
Yeah. So I've been
A little
playing.
quality of life.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy that. But like you, I also have been having some treat yourself / game ADHD. Another thing that Jeff did for me recently was fix my desktop computer.
Nice.
And so there were all of these games that I was unable to play, but I can now play again because
Yay.
previously, like, my desktop was my PC gaming because my laptop is a Mac, so I can't play. If a game cannot be played on Mac, I was just straight up unable to play it for a long time. And we also, because you can link your Steam library to someone else so someone else can play your games. So we did that.
Ooh.
I did that with Jeff. And so I have a bunch of his games that
Nice.
I had like 20 games and he had like 150.
Oh my goodness.
And so I have all these games that I can now play. I've mostly been playing The Sims 4 because I freaking love The Sims. It's so simple and I don't know. I just love it. And so been playing that, and they have a couple new DLCs you can get that like give you a lot of indoor plants, like indoor succulents and stuff. And then there's another one that it's called like Cottage Life or Cottage Living or something, and you can grow like more crops and stuff. I'm trying to get Al to let me cover this on the podcast. So listeners, please.
I mean,
find us.
I've never really got into
Al.
like a Sims. I would totally play this with you.
Heck yeah. Yeah, and then the other game that I've been playing that I am surprisingly enjoying is Cities Skylines. Have you ever heard of this?
It sounds familiar. Is this like a newer one or what is this?
I don't think it's that new, but it's kind of like SimCity. So you basically start off with a blank plot and you make roads and then you can zone the areas around the roads. So basically, like, you can say this is an industrial area and this is a residential area and whatever. And then as your population grows, you're able to like put more things out into the world. So you can do a high density residential area. So instead of like single family homes, it makes apartments. And you can make all these parks and stuff like that. So that's a really fun game. Jeff and I started a game that was basically try and make the greenest city that we possibly can. Which at first you have no choice but to make like a landfill and stuff like that. But you can later, once you get the incinerator, you can like take the landfill, like empty it into the incinerator. I don't know, stuff like that. And then we were trying to make it so there was like more biking, like everyone had to bike and all this stuff.
No roads, just all bikes.
Well, there are still roads because unfortunately like the garbage trucks and all of those.
We can have public transportation then, I guess.
Yeah, you can do that too. Like, you can. Oh my gosh, he bought a bunch of expansions. You can have a blimp as a form of air travel. So you can have like a blimp station on one side of your place and then have the station on the other side, and people can travel that way. It's crazy. And there's like metro stations, and I'm not there yet. But there are ways. So that is another game, listeners, if you are interested in us covering it on the podcast. I know recently we did a survey in our Discord channel to see if folks wanted us to stick more closely to like cottage core / farming, like hardcore farming games, like a game that has actual legit farming. or if people are interested in management games, on the podcast as well. We didn't get a ton of people responding in the Discord, so if you are listening to this and you're not a part of the Discord and you have an opinion, find us. Tell us
the Slack.
Tell us your thoughts. Oh, is it a Slack? No.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Slack. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
They're like the same platform essentially.
It's true.
Just one's paid and one's non.
Oh, it's true. But you can also find us on. You don't have to join the Slack. You can also just tweet at us on Twitter, stuff like that. Yeah. So that is what we have been playing. So moving on, we don't really have any news in this episode, but I did want to briefly mention, as the resident bee person, I don't know if it has been mentioned on this podcast yet, that our beloved cozy beekeeping simulator, Apico, is now available on Switch.
Yay! I did not know this, so yeah. I wonder, like, do you think, like, what do you think? Like, would you prefer to play it on Switch?
So because I was playing Garden Paws, so since I bought Garden Paws and I kind of want to limit the amount of money I'm spending on games, I put off buying Apico since I have Apico on Steam. But Apico is going to be my next month purchase. So it came out on Steam on not Steam, Switch. It came out on Switch on July 7th. So it's only been a few weeks. But she is available. So
you have to let me know.
I would think both. I haven't seen anyone on the Discord. It is a Discord for Apico. I haven't seen anyone on that Discord that's like mentioning anything particularly heinous about the Switch version.
Okay.
So, and when it first came out, I really wanted it on the Switch because I could just see myself like snuggled up in bed with all my blankets and pillows and my dog all cuddled up next to me and just like saving the bees.
Yeah, understandable. And like I feel like in general I prefer Switch over Steam if I can, but that's I think mostly to do with like I sit at my desk all day every day for work, and now like my work desk is my gaming desk as well, so like I just get tired of sitting here, and so I feel like I need to step away and like I want to play computer games, but I'm tired of sitting at my desk.
Yeah, I think
so struggles.
That's the big mood on my end too. Luckily, now that I have the desktop, like I don't use the desktop for anything other than video games. So, and I am trying to siphon off video gaming on my laptop so that my laptop is for work / social media, I guess, like Facebook and stuff. Only, and my desktop is just for games. So, yeah.
I think I just need to change my workstation, like, because it's a standing desk, but I never use it as a standing desk. So I think I just need to commit to using it as a standing desk so that when I sit down, like, eventually when my office is set up to play games, it's different.
You've got this.
I do.
I believe in you.
Yes. But Garden Paws.
Yeah. So. Best transitions ever.
Thank you. I try.
This is the last time out. Let's do this. So moving on to our main topic for the day. It is Garden Paws. Woo! So this is a game by Bitten Toast Games, which is a lovely developer name. And this is not new. So it came out in like 2018. And then it recently came out on Switch, I think in 2021, like November of 2021. Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think that this was mentioned by Kevin? Question mark? I think it was either Kevin or you, but someone mentioned it in the Slack. Stop and think about it every time. Someone mentioned it in the Slack, and we were like, heck yeah, let's cover it. And then we were the two that stepped forward because it was just like, why have we never talked about this or what happened?
I think it was Kevin. I don't think it was me.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin. This was fun.
Yes. Thank you.
So the little blurb for the game that is available on Steam is, quote, "You have inherited your grandparents' farm as they set off to travel the world. Work with Frank at the local construction shop to finish off the final touches on your new home. aid Frank and Mayor Wilson in building up the town so it may reach its full potential, end quote.
Woo.
That is, that describes nothing.
It does not. I don't even think Mayor Wilson's that big of a component of like the game.
I don't think so either.
I think I like realized, I think once I was like, oh, you're the mayor.
I was like, oh, you're a person.
Uh-huh.
You mainly talk to Frank and then like
all the other
NPC like shop owning animals. But yeah, so this game, okay, let's talk about our first impressions.
Go for it.
Okay, so I really like this game. So I played it almost nonstop for like 3 days when I first got it. Basically when we were like, okay, Garden Paws, we're doing it. Like I was like, bought it. Let's go. I think it was like $25 on Switch. And ever since, you know, that first week and a half, I've been pretty busy with my field season and distracted by like my PC games and books that I'm trying to finish. So I haven't put that many hours into it. I'm still in spring. But there's so much to do. I feel so fulfilled, and I feel like it also trickles things to you really in a manageable, amount at a time. Like it's not just like, here's all this stuff and like dumps all this stuff on you. It kind of, you know, teaches you how to do things a little bit at a time, and you get, you know, quests in the mail to say, oh, go talk to this person or whatever. And so
little nudges.
Yeah, these little nudges of like, have you talked to the dungeon guy yet? And you're like, I have not talked to the dungeon guy yet. And so I really appreciate that, and it doesn't really penalize you for not doing a certain thing.
Oh yeah.
It's very open world, like
very friendly.
Very friendly. Yeah, those are my first impressions.
Okay. I feel like I was like kind of the opposite. So I got it I think a few weeks ago. And was like, it took a while for me to get into it, just because like I feel like that was like in the main like stage of like my ADHD. Well, maybe not even main stage, because that's been the whole stage. It's always
we're
there.
all ADHD, all ADHD all the time.
Too many games. I want to play them all. But I think it came out right when the DLC for Sunbreak for Monster Hunter Rise came out. So I was like really like invested in like spending time playing that, and I was like wanting to like get some time into Garden Paws, because I knew that I needed to like put time into it. But I guess it just took a while for me to really get rubbed up into it, and now I feel like I can't put it down. And I think I have about 20 hours in it now, and there's like a setting that allows you to make the days longer, which I regret making because I did not realize how long these seasons were.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know about that setting.
Yeah, and so I switched it back, so it's not a longer day, but I am in summer now, and like with 20 hours, I'm only in the second season, so it's like a whole bunch of stuff to be doing all at once. And I completely agree. I feel like it's very good about like slowly trickling stuff into you so you're not overwhelmed. Part of that maybe is just like part of the explorations. You like find people and then you unlock their quests that way. And you kind of have to go out looking for them to get those quests, to continue those quest lines. So yeah, I feel like it's very, very good about that.
I think I'm just like still stuck on the fact that you can make the days longer, and I'm like I'm sitting here like, should I do that? Because there are times. So basically, does it for the listeners? Basically, it's not like Animal Crossing where it's real time. It kind of does this thing like that Stardew does, where you know, there's the clock kind of goes pretty quick. You know, you could stand there and water a couple plants and an hour might have gone by just from you like watering a couple plants. Yeah. So when you make the days longer, does it basically just slow that down?
Yeah. Okay. So I think the seconds just slow down. Like, because I was at first, I think, getting frustrated with like these days are going too quickly. I feel like I'm not getting enough stuff done. And then I realized like, now the days are way too long. I'm just like spending half the time sleeping, like trying to get energy back.
Yeah. Okay.
So I switched it back.
I think it would still be worth it, in my opinion, though.
I mean, there's definitely benefits of it.
There are so many things to do in this game, and we will definitely get into it. And so that is one thing. Like, I get to the point where I feel like I'm like, oh crap, like the day's over already. I gotta run home again. Like, ugh, like, and so.
Well, so the nice thing too is that like this game does not punish you for really anything. So you could just pass out every day, and I started doing that where I was just like, I'm just never going back to bed. I'm just gonna pass out because like I'm not gonna lose anything.
Yeah, instead of like in Stardew when you pass out and then Linus wakes you up and is like, oh hey, I brought you home, and then you realize he also mugged you. You know,
and you have like the energy like decrease like, energy
or
the next
whatever.
day. Yeah.
Like where you start out at like half energy. Yeah, that doesn't really happen in this game. You wake up and you're like ready to go.
And there's like a weird stamina bar thing too, which also does not like punish you. Like you just kind of start over from. So it's only related to swimming, I think. But if you like pass out in the middle of the ocean or river or whatever, you'll just go back to where you started.
Yeah.
Like no problem. No questions asked.
It's just like we'll port you back to where you touched the ground last. And you're like, okay, thanks. So, okay. Yeah, those are our first impressions. So, graphics. What do you think about the graphics, Bev?
I feel like that also might have been part of why I took a while like to get into it, because like the 3D like third person view with the camera, like it was a little jarring. I think like the camera is pretty sensitive, and like a couple times it would just get a little glitchy for me because I don't know if it's just because there's so much in this game or if it's just because it's the Switch. So I think that was kind of like a little frustrating at first, but it's overall very, very cute. I love everyone in it, like all the little animals and like the different NPCs. So love it now.
Yeah, I think we should mention. So I also think the graphics are really pretty and pleasing, though I did have the same problems as you. And so your character is like an animal. And you can choose from like, I want to say like 8 different animal types.
So many.
So you can be like a fox or a bird or a cat or whatever. But then
wait, what are you?
So I'm a purple fox.
Okay.
Even in like the fox one though, like, so it's like the fox body type, but then there's a skin in the fox one that makes you look like a raccoon.
Ooh.
So there's so many options, and like there are so many skins for each animal. It's ridiculous. And but I just picked the purple one. I was like, screw it. I like purple. I like foxes. Let's go.
I went with a blue bear.
Oh. Blue bear is my favorite Animal Crossing animal. Anyway, yeah, and it's just like every time I see my character, it's just and her little top hat that I found a top hat, and I found a skirt, and I found a satchel, and like it's just a shot of dopamine and serotonin right to the heart.
It is.
Yeah, so I think that the graphics are really pleasing, especially the little animals. I think that the graphics of the like items in the world is also really well done. The little animals are really cute. So like the cows and the chickens and stuff.
Oh my
really
goodness.
Cute.
Yeah. Very very cute.
But yeah, moving over to gameplay, I was definitely... It's all right. It was hard for me to get the camera angles at first, like you mentioned. Like, it seemed like it was very sensitive. I also on the Switch, I get a little confused sometimes about the menus.
Oh my goodness, yeah. All the time.
Because you basically use the D-pad to switch between menus, and then you use...
Wait, the D-pad?
Is that not right?
I've been using the ZR buttons.
I think you can use the D-pad on some of them.
Okay. I did not know this.
Like if you're in the shop.
So I know there's a shortcut for the map with the D-pad.
I have not seen that.
Yes. Okay, so we agree that it's a little confusing. I'm wondering if it would be better on PC for that reason, just because there is a lot of menus.
Well, yeah. So like, for example, if I were to open up a chest, there is my inventory, which is like my backpack, whatever. There is the chest that I just opened up, but then there's also the hand, like what is in your like bar,
Yeah, your toolbar,
your
I guess.
toolbar on the
Which
bottom
is separate
of the screen,
for whatever reason.
Yeah, which is a separate inventory for whatever reason. So, yeah. And so if you want to move things between those, it's just really, it can be really confusing about like, okay, where is this thing that I wanted to move? Oh, it's in this inventory. Okay, I want to move it. Wait, no, I didn't want to move it there. I wanted to move it in the chest. And it's just like,
Yeah,
so,
it takes a while, I think, to get used to that.
But other than that, I mean, it plays a lot like Stardew, or Minecraft or whatever, where you have a certain amount of tools. Like you'll have a pickaxe or a regular axe or what have you, and you use that on any in-world item that you need things from. You have an energy bar, so you can only do so much energy. Do so many activities that can like get past your energy bar. I don't know. It's
will say
pretty straightforward.
that the energy bar system's different than Stardew, because like Stardew, I feel like it kind of rewards you for doing one certain type of activity over and over, so you get to increase your energy, and it's more efficient, right? When you use that. Whereas this one seems to be more static, and it's related more to like milestones. So like when you build a shop or expand your home, that's when you get more energy. So it's a little frustrating in that sense.
Yeah.
It's like you could be playing for, you know, hundreds of hours, and unless you build these specific things or do these specific things, your energy is not increasing.
Yeah. Though you can eat stuff. Like,
yes,
you can get your energy back. Like, I was making blueberry lemonade for a while.
I'm so stingy, though. I just sell everything.
I do sell a lot of things, yeah. But if you are running out of energy, first of all, you can just take a nap.
Yes, I do a lot of that.
Just go back inside of your house and sleep. Or you can, you know, eat something and get your energy back and then go back into the world and continue whatever it is you're doing.
You can only eat cooked items. Like you can't eat raw carrots for whatever reason that I've found.
Well, no one would ever eat raw carrots. That's gross.
That is definitely a snack.
That's true. I definitely have them in my fridge right now.
Exactly. I mean, maybe not like, you know, what's the word? Like you might peel them. Like you probably should peel them before you eat them. But technically you can just eat them.
No. It just doesn't give you as much, you know, when you just cook it, it gives you, it releases the energy.
The energy into your system.
Yeah.
Osmosis through heat.
Correct. So, yeah. Okay. So that's like a basic overview of the gameplay, the graphics, our first impressions. So when I was looking at the website for Garden Paws, I saw this lovely thing laid out. Like it basically, as nondescript as the like little blurb on Steam is, the description on the website was, I was just like, chef's kiss. I'm just going to straight up copy paste this into our show notes. And this is what we're going to go off of because it kind of lays out the different features of the game in a really good way. So what I was going to do, listeners, so that you know kind of what's going on here, I'm going to read the excerpt from the website about each feature, and then we will talk about it.
Yes.
So, okay. So first of all, feature number 1, explore. Quote, with each area that you explore, there are new items to find, collect, sell, and even wear. Around every corner, there's a chance to find hidden treasure, so you'll want to explore every chance you get. End quote. So how do you feel about the exploration in this game?
It is massive. Like, there is so much land to cover. Like, I have 20 hours into this game, and I don't even know if I've been to every single part of like this map. It does very much feel it does feel very like open worldy. So yeah, completely agree with that. I've had so many instances where I've just ran out of energy because I kept picking everything up or ran out of like pocket space.
Yep.
Because there's just so much going on.
Yep. Pocket space is the number one killer for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, you basically can gather items from the world and they auto generate over like a day or two. So if you go and pick every fern there is and you get plant fiber from the ferns.
So much plant fiber.
So much plant fiber. And then you can make it into rope and then you can sell it for way more money.
I was doing it for paper.
Oh, that's another good one. That's another good one.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you do that, it only stacks up to 50.
Yeah.
So
which is annoying.
Which is very annoying. Develop Bit and Toast, please. 99.
Get to 99, please. Or even better, 9999.
9999 would be great because this is annoying when I look at my inventory, my backpack or whatever, and it has like 5 stacks of plant fiber.
Paper.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't need this. Yeah, so you can gather all of these items. Some things like there's like rocks that you can hit with a pickaxe, et cetera, et cetera. There are treasure chests all over the island, and they're in the same location each time. So when you open the treasure chest and acquire all of the items from within it, the chest disappears, but then like a day or two later, it reappears. So you're able to get more items. And I feel like the items, like the first day or two, they were really simple. Like, here are some white daisies. And I'm like, wow, thanks. Those are everywhere. And then, and then now I'm starting to get like skins of animals. Though it's giving me anything but a fox skin right now. And so I'm like frustrated, but whatever.
I don't think I've ever gotten a skin out of one of those chests. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Like, so you can get skins. You can get... that's where I got my top hat and my clothing items, things like that.
Have you seen the bubbles yet? Have you popped a bubble?
I have popped a bubble. That is part of the next one, which is dungeon. So it's part of the quest for the dungeon.
Okay. Yes. Before we move on, I do want to point out there's a few areas that you do have to unlock in the overworld. So there's like some areas covered with vines, some places like some caves that you don't have access to. So it does also slowly expand the already big world that's already there. Okay, I'm done.
No, it's totally true. You're right. So the next one that's mentioned is the dungeon. Quote, dive into the dungeon and battle monsters on 10 epic levels. Take on the boss if you dare. End quote. So I've not done this, but as Bev mentioned, you go talk to the guy. He's like this scary pirate guy in the cave, in this one cave that's near your house. And he's like, basically like, I don't think you're strong enough to go into the dungeon yet. You're weak. You suck. And then he gives you a wand and he's like, go pop bubbles. And then you have to go pop bubbles. So basically like, instead of fishing, so they look like fishing spots, like little pools of ripply water. But then when you go to it, sometimes it becomes a bubble. And the quest is basically to pop a bubble.
I got so upset because I did it the first time and then opened the present, not realizing that I needed to bring the present.
Yeah, he wants the present.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, now I have to go find another bubble. And it took forever.
I was also really frustrated because I felt like it was one of those things where when you don't need something, you see it everywhere. And then when you need it, you don't.
Yeah. Yes.
So I was seeing, I wanted to go fishing, which we'll talk about later, but I wanted to go fishing. And I was like, oh, look, a fishing spot. And then I'd go up to it and another bubble.
I remember walking around and seeing it all up in the sky, and I was like, "What the heck is that?
What?
Is that a glitch?"
Nope, it's a bubble.
No, it's a bubble.
Yeah, but once you prove to him that you are strong enough and you can wield the wand and stuff, I think there might be other things you have to do before you can go to the dungeon. I honestly can't remember. So
there were a few quest things. Okay. You had to hit some mannequins or something. I don't know. But I think it did take a while to do it just because of the bubbles. That was mostly the thing that slowed you down. But I have gotten in there, so I can talk about it a little bit. I've gone up to 10 levels in there. What's interesting about the dungeons is that once you go in, it's almost like a time black hole. It exists completely outside of the timeline. You always get deducted 3 hours, but you could spend literally like IRL like hours in there, and you'll come out and it's like only 3 hours have passed. So it's interesting. And it also kind of like jarring in that like, okay, like I'm kind of done like being in here now, but I don't know how to get out. But it's so you're kind of descending down into the dungeon. So each level you go down a level further. I've only got up to like the first 10. So you have to like you have to like deactivate a pillar, and that's how you descend into the next one. So there's the first 2 levels have like 2 different types of monsters. My advice that I also read, because I read a lot of the wiki, was to snipe from afar with your wand, because they will gang up on you and it will be overwhelming. So snipe as much as you can, and the pillars themselves do kind of like hit back at you once you hit them, but you can easily dodge them. And then you have to go find the stair. Like once you unlock the pillar or break the pillar or whatever, it tells you like go find the stairs. And I'm like, I already did this thing that you told me to. Why are you making me run around this dungeon even more?
Please. I did what you asked.
Right? And there's a couple times it's like hard to find because they get like gradually bigger, I think, the deeper you go down. So it's like I don't want to keep running around because I don't want to run into any more monsters. But I think your health resets after each level, and it does save on the last level that you either left or died on. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
And on the 10th, I think on every 10th level is the boss. I died the first time against the boss. So we'll I don't know. I'll try it again at some point. They were like, there's some also like, I guess some of the stuff you can buy. Actually, I don't know what's in the shop because I don't know how to get the shop yet. the dungeon shop. But you do get a lot of like resources down there. So they have like dungeon vines, dungeon stone, a lot of geodes you can get. A couple of like specific dungeon items that help you with fighting. And like I got a quartz and other stuff down there. So I'm not entirely sure what all those items will do yet, but I'm hoarding them in the event that I need them.
Yeah. Do you think that like are the rewards from the dungeon like really good?
I honestly have no idea. Maybe they are worth a lot of money. I have no idea because I'm like, I don't know if I need this for crafting later, and I don't want to have to keep dying in dungeons.
Yeah.
Because they're, I don't know. It's definitely not my favorite part of the game, and it feels a little like I kind of have to do it to get through it. Like type of experience. Like I actually really enjoy the mines in Stardew. But I don't know, maybe these are just more stressful. I have no idea. Or maybe sniping, or maybe if I get a better wand, it'll feel like less tedious because I snipe from afar, but it takes forever because the further away you are, the less damage you make. So you could be like all the way across the room and you're making like 1 point like damage at a time. And they'll keep running towards you, so you can't stop. Once you hit them, they see you.
Yeah, they're like, oh hey, it's you.
But yeah, that's my experience with the dungeon.
I love you mentioning that it's a black hole because have you seen Interstellar?
I have, but it's been years, so I don't recall.
So there's like a scene. This isn't really spoiling anything for people who haven't seen this. It's just like something that happens because the whole movie's about like black holes and time shenanigans and whatever. So they end up going down to this planet, and they are down there for like an hour, but time moves differently for them there, and so they come back up, and the guy that was on the ship that they had like disembarked from, he's still there, but he looks old as heck, and he's like, it's been 30 years. Wow. It was only like an hour for them. I just imagine like the pirate dungeon guy, like you come out and he's just like, how'd it go? And he's like in like a rocking chair. But I guess you said it was like it was the opposite. Like,
yeah.
He's
like,
probably
I
like, you just went in and you're like, 40 billion years old.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm looking forward to doing that. I just haven't. I was distracted by other quests, so I don't think I have finished the quest that he wanted me to do. I think he wanted me to make dummies or something. I don't even know.
I think so. Or give you like the materials to make dummies, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The next feature is multiplayer. Quote, you don't have to go alone on this new adventure. Invite up to 9 friends to join you online. From shopkeeping to taming and exploring, everything is better with friends. End quote. I did not do this.
I also did not do this. I think I don't know if I knew this. And I'm interested to see how it works.
I am too. We should totally play together.
Let's do it.
That's multiplayer, folks.
Like, is it going to be like Animal Crossing where you're just kind of like, it's your own perspective and you kind of just doing your own thing? Or is it going to be like Mario Kart where like there's 10 different like mini screens on the screen?
Yeah, I don't know. It says that you can have up to 9 friends. And so
that's a lot.
Sure.
Like, I'm thinking like Animal Crossing.
I also don't know. I don't know. I just don't know how, like, do I invite you and then you're in my
right? Like, do we have to do it like a new like save file, or can anyone just join me and help out whenever?
We should probably figure this out, because if we if we have to do our like a new save file, we should do that like sooner rather than later.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, listen back, followers or the listeners to know what's up with that. Okay, the next feature is customization. Quote, there are 10 characters, 10, not 8, 10 characters to choose from. The fox, bunny, bear, dragon, cat, bird, badger, chipmunk, horse, and dog. Each character has a unique appearance, and for all of the characters, there are over 400 skins and over 150 plus dyeable clothing items to customize your character unique to you. End quote.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's so much.
I know. Like, just 10 characters to choose from is a lot, and then you have like all the different skins and clothes.
Skins. Though the skins looked, so I haven't seen. So, okay, I think that at any point you can like take your character to like a chest of drawers or something like that. I don't remember exactly how to do it, but I'm pretty sure you can customize your character and change your skin like at any point. So I could become a bird at any point, even though I chose fox.
Okay. I don't know how to do this yet, but I want to try this.
Yeah, I think I remember like finding it once, stumbling upon it once and being like, oh no, I don't want to be anything other than a purple fox. So, but I've gotten like a lot of the skins that I've gotten have been for birds or for, not like, I think I got a cat skin.
I want to be a cat.
Okay. So, I mean, when you are doing, this is the next thing we're going to talk about, shopkeeping. When you are keeping your shop, and whenever you open your shop, like there are all of these NPC animals that come running to you, to your shop, and they all are like randomly skinned. So some of them will have these, like a galaxy skin, for example.
Yep.
So you can be like a galaxy fox, and then other ones will have like other really cool skins. And so basically, like, from that perspective, I have seen the possibilities of customization.
Yep.
And I am pumped for it. Like, the day that I find a galaxy skin for my fox is the day that I die happy.
Yes.
It feels like, I mean, it feels like in Animal Crossing, like getting the villagers you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
I figured out how to unlock it because I was like, I don't know what to do with the skin in my inventory, and then I put it in a chest, and I think I finally figured out how to actually unlock it, and I don't remember what it was.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I'm pretty sure then it's just available to you, but basically, so you'll find these skins in the wild. Like, I found them like in a chest. I think someone once gave me one too. Oh, and I wanted to get one from the the Easter event.
Yeah, that's where I got mine, I think.
Yeah, and so you basically get it, but when you see it in a chest, you can't quote unquote unlock it or like access it. You have to put it in your own inventory. And then once it is in your own inventory, then you can unlock it, and then it just like disappears. But then you can use that skin.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Super cool though. Like, I don't know. It's cool to be able to like switch it up every now and then.
Yeah, like I love that. I picked the bear because I wanted to be the bear, but I was so torn between like the cat or like something like more exotic, like a dragon. So
I was gonna
it's
say I was
nice.
really surprised you picked bear because you give off cat vibes.
I was so tempted by cat, but I was like, let me be a cat, let me be a bear in this world, and so I am a bear and am working very hard to tame the cats, which we'll get into.
Yeah, I think that's down below. Okay, so the next thing is the next feature is shopkeeping. Quote, found a flower or rock you think your customers will love? Open your shop between 12 and 6 p.m. It says 1800 and I had to be like, what? 6 p.m. and watch the money roll in. There are thousands of items to sell in your shop, from raw materials to crafted items. End quote.
Yes,
Yeah, it's a thing.
it's a thing.
It's just right outside of your house.
It is. It's so odd because no other farming game has had this mechanic before
Yeah.
that I've played.
Correct. Same.
Um,
Like basically instead of just depositing something into a bin that someone else then takes to market for you or whatever.
you have
Which
to run your own shop.
You have to run your own shop. Though, like, thinking about that, so thinking about Stardew and all of the miscellaneous random crap that I keep putting in, like, when I'm playing Stardew, I just imagine, like, someone coming every morning and just, like, piling that into their arms and just being like, why did she get rid of 100 pieces of wood? But no. So, yeah, you basically set up your own shop and sell it yourself. Each table has 3 spots, I believe.
Yep, 3 slots.
So it's 3 slots, but you can have like a stack of 50, whatever, in each
But
slot.
they only take one item at a time,
I know.
which is which is why the paper was so helpful for the fiber, because like trying to sell one fiber when you have like 1,000 fibers is just painful. But the paper, I think, takes like 10 of them, so it speeds up the process a little bit. But yeah, there is a way to automate this. They do have like a shopkeeper in the town that you can ask to come. I've tried it once and they didn't come. Like I went to go talk to them. It's like, okay, I'll like mind your shop, and then they never came. So I don't know if I need to open my shop and then they'll come.
I was gonna say maybe you ask them to come mind your shop, and then you have to make sure that it opens before you leave, and then they'll mind it like while it's open. Maybe?
I'm gonna have to try that again. There is a way to install a shopkeeper shop in your home, but you have to unlock that by paying 10,000. That's like a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I kind of hated this at the beginning because of how slow it was.
Yeah.
But it does get faster as you expand the shop. So I have 3 tables now.
Yeah.
It does get much faster. Once you get more like expensive things to sell, your money like comes in a little faster. So it's a little tedious at front, but it does get better. And I also feel like I go through my energy so quickly throughout the day. Like in the morning, I'll like be like halfway through or maybe even fully like expended, that it's almost kind of needed. Like I have so much time left in a day and no energy, so I might as well just run my shop.
Yeah. Yeah, the first time I did it, I was also kind of annoyed by it. I also didn't understand that you needed to actually sell the item. So
Oh my goodness, yes.
I just set up the table and I was like, oh, here, cool. Here's a bunch of items on this table that I want sold. And then I just opened my shop, and then I came home and I mean, I came home before the shop closed, so that's good. Like I didn't like completely lose it or whatever, but I came home and I was like, why are all these animals still here? like my game almost like glitched because there were so many animals like standing next to the cash register, and I like walked up to one and tried to talk to it, or like hit like a button. I was like, talk maybe, and then and then you sell. So like the animals will come pick up one item, but you have to actually like be there to be like, yes, sell this item to them. And then if there's an animal holding an item and then the shop closes at 1800, then they just drop it.
Yeah, which is
And
also
then
annoying. Like, at least you could do is put it back.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was really surprising the first day. The first time I was like, oh my gosh. So that's a good thing to let people know.
Yes.
Yeah, and I currently have 2 tables, but I am working on building another one. I think the big thing is just looking at how much each item sells for and figuring out ways to make more basic items into more profitable items.
Yeah, so like cooking your eggs or whatever before you sell them. I don't really know what to do with daisies yet, so I've just stopped collecting daisies.
Somewhere in this, I remember, I think it says in crafting, I don't know, somewhere in here, in this thing, it says something about making a bouquet. And I was like, what?
Which, because I did do some reading on, like, you know, the wiki of this game. So I do know some tips and tricks, which I think is a good segue for the next one, which is questing.
Oh, yeah.
I am currently working on unlocking the bouquets for this reason.
Okay, yeah. So that's something, but like, so then you could you could have a bouquet instead of just like a basic flower, and then it sells for more, which is really good. So the next segment is questing. Quote, don't go too far. The townsfolk will need your help rebuilding their town. And that's definitely true. Especially when a natural disaster strikes. What?
I know. I am very alarmed. Please, no natural disasters. I'm spending a lot of resources on building the town.
I have not had a natural disaster hit yet. Okay, let me continue reading. Quote, help build the town and local buildings, introducing new quests, areas, and items along the way. There are over 700 quests with a minimum of 30 hours of content to explore. Don't worry if you finish all the quests. There are new ones every season. End quote. First of all, I'm not worried about running out of content.
No, there's so much.
There's so much. I'm still scared about the natural disaster.
I know. I did not know this. When I read this earlier, I was like, what?
Don't.
Excuse me?
I can't handle it.
What does this mean?
But yeah, what are your thoughts on the quest?
Is that why there's new quests every season? Because you have to start over? Oh, no. I can't.
What?
Well, I'm just like wondering, like, how are they, like, what are the new quests every season? Like, is it a natural disaster? Like, comes like once a year or something?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I mean, season would be like summer, spring, fall, right?
Yeah.
So, like, they basically, like, I would assume that there are different flowers blooming at different times of the year.
True.
And so someone in the village might be like, holy crap, I really want this type of flower that's only blooming now. That's what I'm thinking. They mean by that.
Let's hope it's that and not a natural disaster.
I mean, it's explicitly says natural disasters, so
we're just gonna ignore that, and it's not gonna happen.
Okay, because that's how it works in our country as well.
Yes. It did not happen.
It doesn't happen if you just ignore it. Yeah, I really love the quests. Like I said earlier, they seem to come at a fairly, like, they don't overwhelm you. And then also, it's kind of like in World of Warcraft, like, the people will have a little arrow above their head when they have a quest for you. Yeah. So if you already have, like, a bunch of other stuff you're doing and you're like, man, I cannot be bothered to help you do whatever it is you need help with right now, just walk past them. Like, it'll be there. You don't have to talk. Yeah. You know, you're like, oh, cool, this farmer guy who told me he was the best in the area needs help. Well, sucks to suck. Like,
see, I just accept them all and just accept that I have a lot. Like, I have a lot right now because I'm trying to unlock several things at the same time. But the thought never occurred to me to just ignore them.
Yeah, I just like for some of the people, I'm just like, man, I cannot be bothered.
And they don't go away?
Or I might be like doing something. No, it doesn't go away.
Okay, cool.
I might also be like doing something already for them. So like one of them was the guy that wanted 50 pieces of poop.
Yeah. Was that Mr. Mooney?
Yeah. It's the guy who thinks he's all that.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I run the best farm in town. And I'm just like,
no, you don't.
We'll see about that. Competition's here, bud. Though I do go steal all of his stuff every day.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Have you had like the dialogue where he's like, I need to start collecting like my stuff early because like they keep getting blown away.
I have not. Oh my gosh. So basically he has animals and you can just go into his pen and just
steal his eggs and feathers and poop.
Steal all of the materials that the animals are making. So that is funny that he's like, they're getting blown away. I don't know what's happening. You'd be like, yeah, man, it's been real windy lately. I don't know.
And you can't do that with everyone. Like I tried like stealing the cabbages in the town and stealing the carrots from Thorn, I think is the name.
Yeah.
And Thorn was like, hey, those are mine. I was like, oh, sorry.
Yeah. Then they're just like, you can't do that, my guy. And I'm like, oh crap. Especially because it's funny because he gives you a get 3 carrots quest and you're like, this will be easy. There's a freaking carrot patch right behind you. Also, why do you need 3 carrots when you have like you're the carrot monopoly? Like,
my goodness.
Whatever. Yeah, so I do really like the quests. Again, never gonna run out of content in this game. Oh my gosh.
No, definitely not. It's like Stardew. Like, you can just keep going and going and going.
Yeah. Okay, next feature is farming. So, quote, dig up seeds with flowers and vegetables in the wild, or talk to Tammy the seed seller to purchase new seeds. Use your hoe to till the soil, then make sure to water it every day until your crops are ready to harvest. After a couple of days, harvest your crops and then cook them up or wrap them in a bouquet to sell in your shop. End quote.
And this is where you're like, a bouquet?
Yeah. What? I read this and I was like, excuse me? Oh, what now? Because I've just been selling all, like, in spring, I don't know if it's the same in every season, but in spring, the big flower is white daisies or regular daisies or whatever. And it's just, they're everywhere. And
I haven't noticed changes yet in season. Okay. Like, I've noticed that the trees have changed. So it's not lemon, it's cherry trees. But the flowers are the same and the seeds that Sammy sells are the same.
Okay.
I think. They change every day, so I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, like I just unlocked, like I just bought the flower shop. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I need the bouquets because I need to get rid of these flowers and make more money off
them. Yep. Yeah, the farming is really easy. It's just till or hoe up some soil. It makes a little mound of soil and then you put something in it and you water it. And I think everything's pretty much the same timeline, like except for the trees, I guess. So I do have a tree that like I made a lemon tree. And that it takes a hot minute for it to grow. But everything else, like it was just like a couple days that it took for it to grow, and then when it grows it makes seeds and whatever the thing is, like, so when you harvest it you get more seeds back and the product that you made.
Not always, but I think it helps when you put fertilizer down. One thing I liked about this game is that you can either freeform it, so you can put it wherever the heck you want, or you can lock it to a grid. So you kind of like make that decision when you're like, I don't even remember how I did it. I think it's in the settings. Yeah, it's in the settings because I first did it freeform and I was like, I hate this. I want a grid system. And then like read like, oh, there is a grid system. And I was like, yes. I went into the settings. I was like, please tell me there's a way. Because I thought I could do it freeform and like make it nice, but they were not nice. The freeform is like very, like you have so many options. So you could set something down and be like, it's perfect. And then it's like literally like 2 pixels off or something like that. And I'm just like, So and like I almost wish like the grid system would work with like everything. Like since there's like we'll get into crafting later, but like there's so many things you could be putting down to build, and it's like I just want you to pick a place. Like I don't know where to put this, and please pick a place. Like I like that so I picked the story mode, I think, where it like does pick a few things for you. Like I don't know if it changes, but like I didn't get to select where the chicken coop went. So I didn't. Did you? I don't remember. I think I did. Okay. Because I think that was the differences between like when you're starting up a new save file and there's like a story mode, which I believe was where things were like were static, and I don't know if that applies to like shops too, or if it's I have no idea.
Yeah.
But anyway, there is I just literally found out, I think either today or yesterday, that there is a sprinkler, which is wonderful for Al and other people like myself who want automation. It's I don't like it though. So it only waters one tile. At least the first one that I've unlocked, only one tile.
Oh.
And it does not work with a grid system. You have to switch to freeform or else it won't quite work.
Oh.
Like it's too far away, I think.
I don't like that.
I don't like that. But I want sprinklers because I don't want to keep watering my crops every day. And
it does take a hot minute. Yeah.
So I need to figure out a nice way to do this. I'm just like, they're not costly. It's like one geode and like 2 stone blocks to build this very rudimentary like sprinkler. But
You need to make one that's more powerful.
yeah, I think
go
there
out farther.
are upgrades. They're like, I read that there is a museum that I have no idea how to get to yet. And I think that's how you unlock the other sprinklers. So there's just so much more.
I have not heard of a museum.
I did not either, but it's like there's so much. It's like 20 like quest lines in with 3 different characters, I think. I don't know, but there is a museum apparently. I have no idea where it's going to be or what's needed for it. But yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, so that's farming. You can also fish. So, quote, there is water everywhere. So it's no surprise that the villagers on these islands like to fish. Whether it's dawn or dusk, there is a large variety of fish to catch, end quote. I've never seen anyone else fishing, so I don't know about the villagers on these islands like to fish, but they do like to purchase fish.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, and sometimes you get like trash, like you can get like soggy paper, but then you just make people buy it. And
there's a trash fishing pole apparently.
That only gets trash?
That'll only get trash. I don't know why on earth. I don't know. I have no idea. There is a fisherman's shop, so I think that was the quest line that unlocked that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's interesting. I haven't quite figured out I know there are different fish, but I don't know if it's like a stream fish versus an ocean fish versus a pondish fish and like different times of day or anything. I haven't figured out any of that stuff yet.
I caught a clownfish out of a pond and was very confused.
That leads me to believe that it does not matter. But you can make bait as well.
Yes, out of insects, which you get plenty of from
plant
ferns.
Yeah. So then, you make bait, and then you can use that, and yeah.
You can eventually make traps.
Okay.
You need the fisherman's shop to do that, because I was like, how do I tame cats? I need cats.
Yeah.
I have a cat habitat. I need cats, which I guess I'm jumping ahead of myself. Well, anyway, there's fish bait, so it's like
we are talking
fish
about
traps.
Raise animals is the next feature, and then crafting's the feature after that. So let's just go on. That's all there really is to fishing. You fish. It's pretty simple.
Yes.
Raise animals. Quote, what farm is complete without animals? Talk to Frank about building your first chicken coop and barn. In Garden Paws, you can raise and tend to many animals, including chicks, ducks, calves, alpacas, foxes, ferrets, goats, sheep, horses, rabbits, and more. All of your larger mature animals can also be mounts to help you get around faster if you want to break from gliding around. Because there's a glider.
There is a glider. I want it. Can we use it?
I have it.
Is it amazing?
It's pretty great. I like it.
Is this just like Stardew like meets like Breath of the Wild?
That's kind of what it feels like. But then they turned it up to 11. Like they couldn't pick. They were like, okay, what? We can't do too many animals. We just want to do a couple animals. And they were like, everyone gets to pick an animal. Like everyone vote on what animal they want. And then everyone chose a different animal. And they were like, screw it. Let's put everybody in there. Because
there's hippos, there's bears, there's beetles, it's ferrets, Skunks? I can't.
So many.
I can't.
Love it though.
I do, but I need to, there's too many. I need you to pick where the habitats go, please. I cannot do this.
Yeah. So I've only gotten chickens so far.
Okay.
But reading this blurb, I need ferrets.
Yes.
I need those now. Didn't know you could ride them as mounts, even though I'm pretty sure I saw that in a trailer at some point, but I kind of like blanked that out of my brain. Because you cannot ride a chicken, unfortunately.
Are ferrets too small though?
I don't know.
Because I could see like an alpaca.
I also think it's funny that I'm a fox and I can own foxes.
Yes.
It's a little weird.
I could own bears. I just found the bears and now I want bears.
Yeah, the bears were really cute. And the deer.
The deer. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Deer. Okay. Yeah, so that's raising animals. Basically, I think it seems like you build the thing and then for the chickens, there's a guy in town that owns chickens and so he can just sell you chicken stuff.
Yeah.
And so you just get chickens. But I think for everything else, you have to tame them from the wild and bring them in, and which basically just requires you feeding them their favorite food.
Yeah. Every day.
For over a course of days, correct.
Yes. Which is a lot.
It
like
is
the
a lot,
horse is 30 days of feeding.
That is a yikes.
I looked it up because I was like, I want a horse so I can run around faster. And I was like, I need to build a stable. And I'm not anywhere near that quest line.
Yeah.
And then I saw like 30 days. I was like, do I want to start feeding this horse now? Like, will I have my stable ready? Not in time I'm ready to get the horse.
I mean, it's probably easy. Do they take carrots or wheat?
I think it's wheat.
Okay. I mean, that would be pretty easy to just make sure that you do that every day. I feel like you'd have to do one at a time though. Like you absolutely can. First of all, you cannot guzzle this game. Like there's no possible way.
Yeah.
And
there's no speed running.
There's no speed running, and there's no way you can do everything.
Yeah.
So you have to pick and choose, which I actually really like because of my ADHD. It's like teaching me to not procrastinate, prioritize.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, there are all these things. What do I want to focus on?
Yep.
And then I focus on the thing.
Yeah. And the quest can help with that as well. Or you can pick the quest that you want to, prioritize. Like I really want to start raising some of these animals. So I've been picking, actually no. No, I'm at ADHD. I got the shop. I got the flower shop because I wanted the bouquet. I got the fisherman shop because I wanted the fish bait so I can get fish for the cats. And now I'm like, there's a museum. I need to unlock that because I'm fishing.
Need the museum. I need it.
Oh goodness.
Okay.
And there's a barn too. Like I haven't even gone around to like getting the barn.
Yeah.
So much.
A lot of the things. Okay, we'll talk about it later. We only have a couple more features, y'all. Bear with us.
It's so much.
It is a lot.
We were not kidding.
But it's so great. Okay, next feature is crafting. Quote, there are over 600 crafting recipes, including various chests, furniture, and building pieces. You can keep your farm classic with wooden decorations or glam it up with crystal furniture and glass walls. Your farm, your style. There are over 60 wallpapers and hundreds of items to keep you building all night. End quote. I feel like that was more about building your home, but whatever.
Yeah, right.
So there are a lot of different crafting benches.
Yes, which is very annoying.
Very annoying.
Yeah. Like the habitats, this is like, please just tell me where to put this.
Yeah.
Because I can't, there's too much. Like,
Yep.
It's all over the place. I can't organize this because I don't know how much more stuff I'm getting.
Yep. So you can craft from your, like there's a crafting menu just off of your person, but it's all really basic things. But then you can build a crafting workbench where you can build more elaborate things. And then you also unlock recipes through quests and etc. And then you also get more workbenches to craft. And those workbenches then help you craft other things.
Yeah.
And so it's, at first for me, it was pretty overwhelming.
Yes.
Because I was like, oh my gosh, if I would be like, okay, I need to make X, I don't know what crafting menu it's.
Yep.
Like I kind of wish that at a certain point you could build, so if you built like the new crafting station, you could just set it next to the old one, but then have all of the recipes on.
Yeah. Or maybe there's eventually like a master crafting bench that will just have everything in a nice little like assorted grid that you can sort through or something. I don't know, but it is very frustrating, and like at first glance they look kind of the same because they all have like the fundamental like blocks that you need to build first, and I'm like, how, why is this here? Like,
Yep.
and also like just the way, I don't know if it's different on PC, but it's also just a little frustrating to kind of like scroll through it all. Like you either have to scroll through it or you can go through like a grid system, but like unless you can like read like very small print very well or recognize the icon, you kind of have to do the scrolling. And if like, I could just see this becoming so overwhelming when you just have 100 different like possible, like 600 crafting recipes. That's so much.
Yep. I did. So, I mean, it's kind of like Minecraft, for example, because you can only make, like, you need the certain benches or the certain whatevers to be able to build different things. Like, so I get it. Like, if you want to build a map, you need to have the map maker station.
Yeah.
The cartography
It's
table.
understandable, just frustrating.
Yeah, but it was a lot at first. Like, and it was difficult for me to understand why, like what the distinctions were between them. One thing I will say about the crafting, not about the crafting stations, but crafting in general. If you are on the page, if you want to build a cat condo or whatever it's called, cat habitat, and it'll show you what you need on the bottom. And if you don't have everything, you can literally craft the items that you need from the cat condo like page. So you don't then have to be like, okay, I need this block, and then go to that block's page and then craft it from there or anything like that. Like, you can craft it straight up from the cat condo page. And so love that. I absolutely loved that feature because it just kind of reduces one more level of uncertainty or stress.
Yeah.
So I know, like, in Minecraft, I'll do that. I'll be like, ugh, I need this thing. And then you have to kind of remember what it looks like and try and see the right thing. And then sometimes you'll make the wrong component.
Yep.
And then you go back and you're like, I thought I made this. It was different by because it had red in it or something. So definitely enjoyed that in Garden Paws.
Yeah, for sure. Agreed.
Helps that a little bit. I'm just gonna lump cooking in with this as well, because cooking is another thing, but basically it's just, you just make a cooking station.
Yeah,
it's just another type of crafting station, and then you can make whatever it is that you want. So I'm planning on moving all of my food crafting stations into my house so that I know where they are.
That is smart, and I think I want to do that because right now my house is empty. I'm like, I have no interest. Like, it's like, what am I decorating my house with? Like, do I even care what my house looks like? There's so much to do outside. But that makes sense. I could see me getting like, annoyed if like, okay, I just harbored the fish, like the egg, and now I have to go inside to like cook it, and it being like an extra step. At the same time, it could make my outside look so much better and like more organized.
Yeah. I'm fine with it. Also, then I could put like a chest or a fridge inside or something like that, where I could just put all of my food in there. So if I'm like, man, I don't want to craft this right now, but I just want inventory space, I can dump it in there. I have, like, for storage, I have a chest outside right now, and then I have a chest by my shop of like things that I want to sell. And then nice. if I'm like out of table space in my shop, and then I just got a new chest style thing that's for like ore and rock.
Ooh.
So that was cool. So
what is that? Like, I've seen the different storage types from the storage like workbench, but I don't quite know the differences. Like, does it not let you put anything else in there other than ore?
I think it will, hilariously. However, it looks different. Like, it physically looks not like a chest. It looks like a container that has stones in it.
Ooh, okay. So
then,
it's just
like,
easier.
I can mentally be like, this is where my rocks go. 'Cause so in going back to Minecraft. In Minecraft, for example, if I don't put a sign above a chest to say what is in the chest, I will get lost real fast because we have like a billion chests in that game.
Yeah.
Because there are so many things and you get overwhelmed with materials pretty quickly. And so, but this, like, you can make different storage things, and they look, this different storage containers have a physical appearance that is different and like is easy to denote, like, okay, this is not a regular chest, this is for my rocks.
Okay.
So I really like that.
I think I'm just gonna like Google like layouts and like find something, like find like a template that I can use and just build that for like organizing everything, because like
Yeah,
I want to have dedicated storage things and dedicated like areas, but I just cannot fathom in my brain where to put it yet.
yes.
So I'm sure there's some like screenshots of people being like, look how beautiful like my organization is, and I can be like, yes, thank you, I will copy this.
Like, yes, I will do the exact same thing, thank you very much. Yeah, I feel the same. Like, I just started putting my crafting stuff in front of my house, but now because I have 3 different crafting tables, it just looks like a mess.
It does.
I'm just
It looks like
ah.
what does Steve from like Pokemon podcast like call it, like when he was like doing the Animal Crossing, was it like the Florida backyard?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the Florida backyard,
Yeah.
because there's like a tire in the front and like a toilet seat. Like, that's what it starts feeling like.
Yeah.
Instead of a nice, orderly, like,
Right.
like maybe if you built like wood, like a wood floor in one area, like near your house, then maybe like a shed, like maybe you could build like this little shed. I can see it in my brain. I can see how we could do this.
Yep. Which is actually a good segue for the next one, which is build your home.
Build your home. Quote, work with Frank at the local construction shop to upgrade the home your grandparents left you when they set off to travel the world. Want something bigger or in another location? Build some foundations and walls to build anything from a small fishing shack to a large castle. End quote.
I can't understand the amount of options this game has. Like, what? Like, I can just build myself like I understand I could do this in Lens Island.
I also thought of Lens.
but I just, but like, dude, Lens Islands does not have this many options, and it's just like, can't you just, like, I want you to decide things for me. Like, I don't have structure in my work right now, and I need structure in my Garden Paws.
Like, don't tell me I can build my house wherever I want.
Please.
Though I have seen some other places in the world where I'm like, ooh, this is where I could put my house. Also, how would your grandparents feel about that?
Right? Like, they left you your house and they're just like, whatevs. Like,
they come back and it's in disarray.
Yeah,
like,
it's just like empty with only a bed and like a weird
So that is weird
bathtub.
that they left you just a bed.
And a bathtub.
Is there a bathtub?
So I'm like, what is this? And then I've like tried to like jump into it, and it's just like does not let me sink into it. I mean, maybe
What's the point of a bathtub then?
I don't know. Aesthetics, I guess. It's aesthetically pleasing. I have no idea.
Yeah, I have not done anything with my house.
Nope.
Because like you said, there's so many other things you can do.
Nope. Or the next one, which is build up the town.
Yep. Quote, in Garden Paws, you'll have the opportunity to commission new buildings, bringing in new townsfolk and seeing the town grow due to your efforts.
So like, I've bought buildings and unlocked them, but there's empty houses that you can also buy. And I'm like, is this to unlock a visitor? To unlock an NPC? Is this for me to live in? I don't understand.
I'm also confused by that because there's like there's like 4 of them and they're identical.
Yeah. And it's like, there's so many things to do. So how do I automate half of this so I could do other things, right?
Yeah.
And like, I've unlocked the dung beetle habitat. And I know that will collect poop for you. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's really cute.
I forget how I stumbled upon it. I have no idea. somehow I unlocked that, and
I want it.
like you need a gold poop to build it, and 50 poop.
Oh.
So it will, I think it is a rare drop, so it might take some time. And then you have to also find the beetles. Mm-hmm. And I just found them. Unlocked them with the cave with the bears. And like they said, like they will collect your poop for you. But like, what does that mean? Like, what do you mean they collect them? Like, is there like I don't see like a menu item in this habitat that allows me to collect the poop if it's in there. And also, what's the radius? I have no idea. Like,
oh my gosh, that would be so freaking cute.
Right?
Like, here's some poop, and they're like, oh my god,
you
I
can
will
make
come live with you.
Poop feed, beetle feed, which is just made out of poop that looks like corn.
That is so freaking cute.
So yeah, I'm very intrigued. So I think there is some level of like automation in this game. There's the sprinkler, there's these dung beetles, but can I ever upgrade my coop to just feed themselves? Like what? Like how do I have so many? Like can I have 20 different habitats? Like how can I feed all of these these animals in a day? I don't think they'll die if I don't feed them. But at the same time,
I don't think they will. I think they just like get sad.
And they'll stop producing stuff for you.
Yeah, but then you just feed them.
So it's like,
but also you can't stop feeding your stuff.
Exactly. So it's like how
you lengthen the days.
You hack the game.
You lengthen. Well, no, like you lengthen the day. You make the days go by slower.
But then I can't get through the seasons and see what else is happening. Like I read somewhere that something happens in the 4th year. I'm like, how am I ever going to make it to the 4th year?
You're like, I'm never going to make it. You just got to be patient. I think I like it because it makes you have patience, because there is so many things and there's so many things that I want to see. It kind of like stops you from game guzzling.
It does.
And it gives you
have to prioritize.
You have to prioritize, and you have to pick, like, there are so many things that you could be doing at any one given time. So you have to just say, like, listen, today I'm just going to work on X.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll do this other thing at some point in my life, but whatever.
Yeah. I'll eventually get to the stables, but I'll work on getting cats right now.
That's the priorities.
Yes. Cats. Listen, I already have the cat habitat built. It was like the first thing I built before I even like knew how to get cats. I was like, I'm gonna have a cat, and then it's been like.
Do you put it in your house?
No, I should have put it in the house. What am I doing?
You can move it.
I can. I will be moving it. Also,
is it
can
like
you move?
big or?
It is actually, I think, kind of big. Like it's much bigger than the bunny. I only have the bunny habitat and the cat habitat build. Well, I guess I
only have a chicken coop.
I've put more hours in. This is understandable. There's so much, and I feel like that's why I can't like let it go, like put it down, because there's so much.
It's worth the money for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. The last feature. This is something you added,
yes.
Bev. So there is no blurb. It is just that there are events.
Yes. So I think they're kind of more like festivals because they take place over several days. Have only has gone as far as summer. So there's like an Easter egg hunt in spring, which is very cute. I did not find all the eggs. It is actually difficult. It is so hard. Like I had to go to the wiki to I think I found up to 16 of them. And then even the wiki was like, I can't figure out where the rest of these are, and I'm not going to spend any more time looking for them. And I kind of read through the prompt of the quest a little too quickly and didn't realize how to open the eggs. So I was just storing them, and each of them is their own individual. No. And then I was like, I can't build more storage chests for eggs. This is ridiculous. And then I finally Googled it. It's like, oh, I just need to open it at the anvil.
Yeah. So for listeners, you find the egg, you take it to where the festival is set up, and there's an egg smashing station.
Yes.
At which you smash, and then you smash the egg, you get what are they called? Bunny tickets?
Bunny tickets and whatever is inside the egg. Some whatever goodie. Mostly clothes, I think.
Mm-hmm. And then the bunny tickets can be used to redeem prizes.
Yeah.
I know that there's things that I want. I cannot for the life of me remember what they are right now, but there were some things, like some of the prizes that I was like, there's definitely no way I'm going to make this and get this in one season.
Yeah. And I also don't like that, like, a lot of the prizes are based off of, like, randomness.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see this, like, the skin advertised. And I don't know if you can select it once it, like, toggles through the different, like, pop, like, the, like, thought bubbles. So I don't know if there's a way to select it that way, and you just kind of have to watch it and time it. Because, like, I don't want to have 20 different things of the same thing and waste all my tickets trying to get the one galaxy print or whatever it is I'm trying to get, you know. So it's a little frustrating. And I will say the summer is completely different. It's like a carnival style, like with mini games, which I'm terrible at. And they cost money. Like it's like $1,000 to play one of these games, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Yeah. It's like, I'm not made out of this much money. Like, do you know how long it takes to make 1,000?
Like, I'm not, no.
So I managed, because like the quest line for summer is to play each game once. So I did it. I think I spent like maybe not that much. It was like 1,000. Like 2 of them were 1,000. I think 2 of them were like 500. So it might have been like 4,000. No, math. 3,000 total. But that's still a lot of money to be playing on mini games. And that I didn't even win, so I didn't get all the tickets for.
No, that's not worth my time.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's all these things I want to unlock that cost money.
Yep, exactly. So, I mean, like, summer will come around again.
If they had a different, like, maybe the second year in summer, you're like, man, I cannot get rid of this money fast
Once you
enough.
get those
like,
bouquets, man.
Those bouquets are gonna, like, that's where all the real money. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so final thoughts?
I'm definitely gonna be playing more. There's too much to do in this game. Like, I haven't even made it to winter yet. Like, I don't even know what winter looks like. Like, yeah. I don't even understand what summer looks like yet, because I feel like I didn't even realize that it switched.
I do know that, like I've seen some screenshots of winter and there is snow on the ground.
Okay, cool.
So
maybe it did change it. I just was like so focused on like all my quests and like my tasks that I was like, oh, this tree is different.
That's like all you notice. Well, and I'm curious because I planted a lemon tree. I'm like, is this going to randomly become a cherry tree, or do I have to then plant a cherry tree as well? I don't even know.
I planted a lemon tree like very late into spring because I didn't realize that if you chop the trees down, they will give you seeds. And it took me until like the end of the season to figure that out. So by the time it actually grew, it's summer. So I actually don't know if it's going to give me any fruit or if it's just still growing. Okay. So it still looks like a lemon tree though. So it's definitely not cherry, because the cherry trees look like cherry blossoms.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now I've been like hacking all the trees to get cherries, and I'm like not getting any seeds. I'm very upset. It's like, give me a cherry seed, please.
Yeah. Well, my final thoughts are also like the same. Like, I want to play more. I like that too. Like, I like playing a game, because sometimes when we cover games on the podcast, we get to the end of the episode and we're like, we are happy we never have to play this again. Like, there have been a couple mobile games like at the end of it when Al's like, well, Cody, will you be playing this more? I'm like, I uninstalled it during this episode. But this is something, like, especially after talking to you and finding out about the museum and stuff, like, I kind of want to just play this the rest of the evening. Yeah. Like, I want to, like, just turn it on and play for a little bit, and I very well might do that. So, yeah, we should definitely try and figure out the multiplayer thing.
Oh, my goodness, yes, please. I would absolutely love that. It would be great if we could have it and still be able to access it even when we're not both online. That would be ideal.
That would be the
because then we could have so many things going on at once.
Yeah, like you could. Okay, so my favorite thing about these types of games is collecting. So you could be like, Cody, listen, hear me out. I need 8 billion wood for my cat empire.
Yes.
And I could be like, I'm on it. And then the next time you log on, there's just like 400 like cat habitats made.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna figure this out.
We got it.
Yeah, tweet at us to find out what happened.
Yeah. And speaking of tweeting at us,
yes.
You can find us at our personal Twitters. So my personal Twitter is just my name. It's at Codey Mathis.
Mm-hmm.
Bev's personal Twitter is at go for it. I was like waiting for you. Okay.
Okay. It's Bev Granger 711. Exactly, I think, as it's spelled.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You can find the podcast on Twitter at THSPod.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us if you play Garden Paws and what skin you use.
Yes. Your favorite habitats or
your
animals.
Favorite habitats. If you can ride the ferrets. You can follow or you can email the podcast at harvestseason.club. Also on that website, you can find our Patreon. And by supporting us on Patreon, you get access to the greenhouse episodes, which are kind of like mini little bonus episodes. This week, we discussed our own personal gardening adventures and knitting.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
We also talked about knitting.
Or failures too.
If you want to learn about hydroponic mason knit cozies, check out the greenhouse.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Thank you for joining me on this episode.
Yep. And thank you for also joining. Me.
Heck yeah. And thank you, listeners, for making it this far into the episode. Yep. You are awesome.
Definitely.
And until next time,
have a good harvest.
The Harvest Season is created by Rochelle Delaney and Al McKinley, with support from our Pro Farmer Little patrons, Kevin and Stuart. Our art is done by Micah the Brave, and our music is done by Nick Burgess. Feel free to visit our website, harvestseason.club, for show notes and links to things we discussed in this episode. Thanks for listening.